Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to our show. Yeah, welcome to the Luxurious channel.
Hello.
Um, I'm Michael J.
And I'm Mark Sinclair.
Yeah. So, shall we get started?
Let's get started. I mean, is this a kind of late show? It's kind of late. What do you think, bro? It's kind of
Yeah,
it's
sorry we're
kind
late.
of.
A little late today. A little late today. A little late.
You missed us. You missed us.
I know. I missed you guys. Missed you guys. How are you doing today, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, do a mental check in. I'm good. It's been a long week so far. So I've been pretty busy. It's good.
Yeah, I think it's getting things ready. So, if you guys don't know, our birthday's coming up next month, so we're kind of getting prepared for that. So we're doing good.
Oh
But yeah, let's
shit.
let's just start let's a little shimmy. Let's just start on these topics. Let's get started on these topics.
Okay. Okay, you
So
start first.
Yeah, I'll start first. Don't again. Don't tell me what to do. Just let's just go on the more on the mic.
Ooh,
Don't tell me
ooh,
what to do.
ooh, ooh, ooh. It's
On the
giving
mic.
takeover tease.
Yeah, yeah, right. Okay. So first thing I wanted to ask you about is I know you guys don't really. I don't know if you guys celebrate it there in Canada. I always forget. So MLK's day, MLK Jr.'s birthday was actually on the 15th. So we this weekend we had a long weekend. So I was wondering, do you guys even celebrate that in Canada? And how was your weekend? How was your
Well, well,
how do
they
you how do you go ahead.
well they do talk about it, but it's not like how it is in the states. In the states, it's a big deal. Here, it's just not. It's there, but it's not. It doesn't mean
Okay,
as much.
so I guess so we can kind of piggyback off that and ask you. So what did you do to keep the memory of Martin Luther King alive for yourself? What do you do?
Well, for me, I kind of remember like what he stood for. Like um, you know, making sure everyone's treated equally. That that said that that peacefulness, that quiet confidence. I love embodying that. Like I think Martin Luther King Jr. definitely had a very quiet confidence that was unshaken. I feel a lot of times being a black person in Canada or US, you tend to be a little like nervous or you tend to be a little more precautious on how you approach things to people because you don't want people to think you're too overbearing or whatever. But having that quiet confidence, knowing that's you're okay no matter what, that kind of helps a lot. How about you? What do you do?
I think I do. I think I keep that inner that poise, that it's just that inner regalness. I think I always keep that with me where, even though like you still feel like, sometimes at work you might be like you're in work mode and helping other people. But remember, you're still king inside, And what's a peasant to a king? No, I'm kidding. No, I mean just in general. no, no, it's just in general, just having that mindset of a king. Like a king really it takes care of people around them and actually embodies of just being fair and enjoy and actually being following the rules to a certain extent. So I
So,
think that's I think in some aspects he did not follow the rules, which I think is good. But
yeah,
I
yeah.
think also being able to kind of when needed, stepping out of that box when you have to, but doing it in a way that's very profound yet not to totally offend, but to help. That's the most important thing I think you
Yeah,
should take out
I
of it.
think I think it's very important that everyone else out there, you have the mindset of a king for sure. But I'm of the mindset of a demigod. It's like, what's he God to a king? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I was kidding. No, but seriously, no, I'm kidding. No, but no, seriously, it's important that we remember like our history and our past because I feel like a lot of times these younger generation they don't think about not too much how much struggle it took to get to where we are now. And I think like having that appreciation and carrying it inside of you and carrying you with you when you go places and know that like years ago I want to be able to sit beside a white person in a restaurant or I want to be able to ride the front seat of a bus or cab or those things. So it's just
Mhm.
a good thing to remember.
I think
Good.
also a kind of a side thing to that is also not invalidating others' experiences too. I think it's really
Mhm.
important to hear other people out and kind of
Mhm.
without too much. I mean, there is a bit of judgment, but not with too much. Try to take away the judgment and just be very mindful of others that live with you, live around us, and remember we're a community all together. That's what I think.
Yeah. So while
So
you're here, I'll also remind you guys to remember you to like, comment, subscribe. It's very important that we get you guys to do that because that's going to tell us, commenting, especially tell us what you want to hear next or what information you want to see. Like we want this to be an open forum so you guys can put what you want. We can kind of take from that forum and create more content for you. But in order to do that, you have to make sure you message, right? So if you're on, make sure give us a thumbs up. You know,
show us
um,
some love, say hey. You can say hello. It's like yes, let us know you're there, you're around. We want to hear you.
Exactly. It's like you beautiful, beautiful people out there. I'll go next. I'll go next. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
Now, before you go, I always forget to. We always forget to say this in the beginning. All these topics we don't know these ahead of time. So every topic we go over, we're not. Michael doesn't know anything. I'm asking. I don't know anything Michael's giving me. So we're kind of playing off of each other that way. So it makes it more interesting, exciting, and we get our authentic reactions. So
we're live.
good.
We're live. Live and in color. All this melanin. We're melanin. We're on color.
Melon popping.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So did you hear about? I mean, I'm not sure I talked about this last time. It's called buccal fat removal. Buccal fat removal. So
No?
it's like they remove the I guess tissue or muscle within your face, so that you have a stronger jawline. But when you remove it, once removed, you can't get it back in. So your face is like permanently like that, right? So in the past, in the way past, the early American days, was found that round faces were more attractive, or round faces were more attractive.
Yeah.
Now it's more the thin, like chiseled faces. So now you see
Yes.
going running out getting the surgery, but it's permanent. What do you think? What do you think about that?
I think you got to be careful with permanent surgeries, especially like if it's something like using your buckle. You said buckle fat.
Buckle, Buccal, buckle.
It's weird because I think when you get older, your face normally I think has a normal sag to it. So I think if you were able to get that removed, I'm wondering if you gain weight, how that would sound or how that would be. So I'm just curious about that.
So we'll be right back. Okay. Well, welcome back.
Hello, we're back.
Yay. So you're next. I believe you're next after the
Oh
buckle
yeah.
fat.
So what I was saying about buckle fat is I don't know how that would be if you're like getting the surgery and like you get older or get more weight. I don't know how that would actually react to your body. I think it'd be more. I think what happens to go days is just actually working out. I know there are certain things you want to kind of easily get quick kind of fixes. I understand that part of it for sure, but then it's like you still should have some personal responsibility to actually go out and work for losing the weight
Mm-hmm.
too. So I don't know.
Our comes from Mark. Our question: you think comes from Fatty or Buckle? You the old comedian. I don't know what it comes from. I'm just wondering.
Not Fatty Arbuckle.
Why not? Fatty or Buckle? He's the old comedian. Comedian. No, it's just kind of funny. I guess the name sounds very similar. But I think it's your turn, bro. What's the next?
Oh, sure. So I'm gonna go in a reverse way. So I actually have these written down, but I wrote them down in a certain way. So I'm gonna go over the kind of the least. Oh, they're all very interesting, but I'm gonna go the most interesting to last. So what I actually found out today was, I don't know if you knew this, Michael, that the world's oldest known woman, actually, or known person in life has passed away.
Yeah, for France.
She was in France.
No.
None, Lucille Randon. Yeah, Lucille Randon. She died at age 119 years old. So like she was a long time. Mike, what do you think about her death and her legacy and what she brought to?
But I feel like I hope when we get older that if as long as you're older and you're in the right mind, you have the same like your mental faculties, I think it's good. But when you start like developing mental, not knowing who you are, or like being scared all the time, then I kind of worry about getting old. But I feel like if you're in the right mindset where you've lived your life and you're able to coherently talk to everybody and everything's good, then I think you're good. What do you think?
I think it's pretty cool because with her, I think that's a pretty amazing feat. She was 119 years old. That's wild. I think also she was born in 1904. And that was actually February 11th. She was close to her birthday. She's really close to her birthday. Away. So she'd have been 220 years old on the 11th. So, but I think it's pretty cool. Like I think that what an amazing service to be a nun and to be able to actually. I think a lot of times I've noticed that people who actually give back more are the ones that happen to live the longest. I think there's something to do with even in the Bible has something to do with just being a service to people, other people, and helping, I think it helps to kind of improve your life in a way. I think.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I love that story.
So what do you think,
So
Mike?
now I'll you guys a little more serious. So you're the USC president. How he got in hot water. There's a video of him and his wife. I guess they're at a show or at an evening event, and she's off and
Uh-huh.
slapped him, and he slapped her back like twice.
Oh,
Really,
that's not
really
good.
hard. So it's caused controversy because UFC's worth billions of dollars. So no one, that's why
Yeah,
you never heard anything, anything for anybody because all they're
right.
kind of on the low. They already know that this is going on. It's happened. Um, I think shall I do my take first and then then go to
Yeah,
you.
that's fine. Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is what okay, y'all. This is what I think. This cross genders, and if you have a gender, if you're binary,
Mhm.
whatever, it doesn't matter. Keep your hands to yourself. Period. Like I don't care
I agree.
if like when you hit somebody and you haul off and do something, it's like we're not back in the old days where where like people are like, okay, if I'm stronger than you, I'm not gonna hit you or do anything. It's like I believe if you hit somebody, then you're gonna get there. Where energy is coming to you when you do stuff in general, when you do things, you know,
Mhm.
karmically, things will come back to you. Period. So you be really mindful how you. What do you think about
No, I 100% agree with you. I think that when it comes to like physical or domestic violence, I feel like it's important to when you get upset, like we were talking about earlier, it's better to walk away and to not escalate to a point where someone gets physically hurt.
that?
Especially it just so if it just so happens to be a woman, I understand that's it. It's even worse. However, like you say, like you're saying, doesn't matter what gender you are, what you what your pronouns are. You shouldn't be putting your hands on anybody, no
Mhm.
matter what the situation is.
Yeah.
Unless it's like for defense, self
Right.
defense. I feel like that's the reason where you would actually attack someone.
I feel like
So
don't expect that you're gonna be able to hit somebody or do something like hit or embarrass them and not gonna retaliate or do anything back to you. I think that's like ridiculous. I feel like we need to get out of that mindset. Like just don't put in general. Don't put the hands on nobody.
I agree.
Period. The other way at all. Period. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I definitely agree. I agree with that.
What do you think? What do you think about the how the media has not covered it or anything really
Well,
much?
that makes sense then if it's something where because we all know that UFC is this huge conglomerate, so it's like of course they're gonna. I think certain sponsors and things don't want that out, so that makes sense why it's not out to the public. Makes
Mhm.
complete sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So
On you, bro.
so
On
my
to you.
topic so my topic is interesting. Party City actually filed for bankruptcy recently.
I know
Yeah,
that.
they filed for bankruptcy after struggle. They said that after the pandemic, that kind of intern time where they were trying to get their footing
Mhm.
back. They said they were never able to recover fully from the thing that happened, the huge thing. So
Okay.
so what do you think about that?
I got some
About
shade. I got shade, but I'm gonna keep it light shade. I'm just gonna say, what are the people who college students on go or the low level people who are trying to get into certain industries on go to get their costumes? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm saying.
I think I guess let me tell you what I think. I think that when it comes to like there's a lot of those companies. I think if you're not evolving, certain companies for me, I feel like a lot of companies they stay in their same kind of they keep the same recipe. They don't want to change the formula. They want to keep the same thing over and over again. It's like when times change, you have to move with it. Like for me, I don't understand why Party City hasn't even gone to a point where they do, they do other things, other venues and avenues of I don't know of partying. Like for example, they could do I don't know. Like for me, I feel like Party City when you go in there, when I go in there, I feel like it's it's more arts and crafts than partying
Yeah.
to be partying for me.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I get that.
I agree.
Yeah. Go ahead, what were you saying, Mike?
I would say, yeah, like if there's big circuit parties having things to go with, like work with the community, feel themes or see what's happening on as big in the city, and kind of
Right.
evolve that way. Like I've always found like, have you? I hate going in there and like not finding what I can find. Like I need some really bad. Go in there and they never nothing. Period. And I think
Yeah, like
you know
nine times out of 10, what you're looking for is not there. It's not going to be there.
it's never there. So I kind of feel like they should have it. So like they should have moved to more about a front store will have online, have an online store connected to it. That way, they're like, okay, you can order it here in the shop, and we'll have it sent to the shop, so you have it whenever or something.
I think they do have an online store, but I think they need to push more. They should push more for online shopping. I think also they need to offer more options when it comes to costumes. To me, it's like, okay, so Walmart level, not it's nothing wrong with Walmart costumes, but Walmart level costumes is not cut. If if your name is Party City, to me, it's not cutting it. Like to me, I want to go. For example, if I know there's mom and pop costume stores near me that I can go to and get a full on steampunk costume or full on pirate costume that's high quality. Like why does it Party City have things like that? I feel like everything they have is like it's made of like terry cloth, tearaway. It's never high quality. So I feel like that they need they're missing opportunities. I feel like.
Yeah, I think so too. It's sad, but I think hopefully it'll create a niche where something else can come in its place. That'll be more a little more organized. I would say, because I always find
Mhm.
disorganized. Like in terms of like finding
I
like
agree. It is.
you'll have certain types, like you look for this particular thing. It'll be kind of sort of, but not what you're looking for at all. It's never. You know what I'm saying? It's always like off.
It's almost like it feels like you went into like a old back in a Kmart and you fell into a bargain bin for stationery.
It's
That's what
true.
it feels like. We go to Party City. It feels
Now
like.
bargain bin.
But
All right, so
anyway,
we're gonna go on commercial break and we'll be right back. Okay,
be back.
be back. And welcome back, everybody.
Hi, with that. Hi, everyone.
Hmm. So I think I'll go next.
Sure.
I'll go next. Let's go and okay. So talk about. I'll give you some time. In Washington, unless you heard of it, there's a mass shoot, not a mass shooting, but there was a shooting in Washington where a Republican who denied his
Mhm.
election loss arrested over a
Yeah.
drive-by shooting at Democratic homes. Basically, a failed
No.
Republican candidate whose authorities said was angry over a defeat. He based his
Okay.
claims that the election last November was rigged against him, was arrested in connection with a series of drive-in shootings targeting homes of Democrat lawmakers in New Mexico's largest city. His name's Solomon Pena. He's 39 years old. Was arrested Monday evening, just hours after SWAT officers served search warrants at his home and took him to custody. Said the police. Yeah.
Well, I say to him in custody, and I'm sorry. Can you go back more into detail of the story? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear
Oh,
get everything.
he lost the election, but he blamed it on the Democrats. So then he went back.
Oh wow. So I think it's so easy to blame someone when you lose. It's so easy to be like, okay, well, it's the other party's fault for whatever. And it's like I think it's in this day and age, it's so hard for people to take accountability for anything. I feel like even like I think I had a conversation with somebody who's actually used to be a teacher, and they're talking about how even kids nowadays that none of them take responsibility for what they do anymore. They always blame other people. So it's like we have to get out of that mindset of always blaming someone, and sometimes look at us first, and then look at everyone else. I feel like. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I think that it's sad. But I think the biggest issue is like we have gun control in the states not control. I feel like we had more better
Yeah.
gun control laws, and I feel like we get so caught up in it's not even really me and you. I'm saying more of like the older Americans. They're so worried about their rights being taken, but it's not like your rights being taken. It's like just things being modified. Like things need to evolve and
Yeah.
change. Like, the times change, right? So I feel like if we have more laws about guns and about regulation, then we don't have to worry about people having access who shouldn't have access. So I think this is a prime example of someone who has access who shouldn't have access to something like that. Yeah,
No, I totally agree with you on that for sure.
it's pretty
So,
crazy.
well, it's funny you're talking about crimes and criminals. Well, this
Mhm.
is an interesting story. There's computer forensics investigators gave info to a murder case in which this guy named Brian Walsh in Massachusetts dismembered his wife, and the forensic scientist data revealed that they found searches of his, and one of the things they found was the search had article named "10 Ways to Dispose of a Dead Body." So
I
yeah.
mean,
So what do you
what
think
in
about
the how to get
what
murder?
do you think about that? What do you think about that?
What in the how to get murder? What in the
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like,
that's insane. That's insane.
so what do you think? What do you think about the forensic scientist? What do you think about the case about him dismembering his wife? What do you think about
Ugh.
all these things?
Man, I think there's a lot of sick people out there. I think there's a lot of mental people need mental help in general. I think this is one of those
Mhm.
cases where it's probably someone who probably came unhinged. I don't know. I don't know how to even begin to. It's sad. I think it's sad. I think it's crazy. What
Yeah.
do you think?
I think I think it's nowadays. I feel like it's so hard for you to get away with anything. I feel like you realize that, especially with computer. That's my major is digital forensics. So I definitely understand, the science that goes behind finding that information. But not just that. There's just in general anything you do, whether it's fingerprints, whether it's cameras outside the your home, whether it's traffic cameras, doorbell, everyone's always watching, and it's always some if data they can get from off
It's
of what's
true.
happening. So
It's true.
I feel like even just doing those type of searches, I feel like you're kind of in a way it's not smart to do that, and it's also not smart in general to kill anyone. It's not a humane to
Yeah.
do that. So like in general, no matter what, I think if you're looking to hurt someone, I feel like there's very little. I think where very little avenues for you to get away from being
Yeah.
caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right. So, my turn. So, did you hear about Johnson and Johnson said on Wednesday that it'll be pulling the plug on its late-stage global trial of an HIV vaccine after the shot was found ineffective and at preventing infections. So they're
Wow, no,
stopping.
I didn't hear that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. This trial marks yet another setback in the search for a vaccine against the virus known and mutated rapidly, and finding unique ways to evade the immune system, and comes more than a year after Johnson and Johnson HIV vaccine failure study. So again, yeah, another failure again.
Oh wow.
They stopped doing it.
So what I think about that is I think that it's good that they're kind of getting all the bugs out now and trying to figure things out now to kind of fix the vaccines. I think we have to be careful. Not saying I think is some vaccines are very important. We know in history in general, vaccines help prevent people
Mhm,
from getting sick and being hurt and
mhm.
and spreading things to others. However, I think we need to be cautious in general for our immune system and also things we
Yeah,
do. I agree with the other side of it too. We program what we put in our bodies, what we do. It's really important. But I think when it comes to science and it
mhm,
comes to study research, I think the tried and true method of the scientific, the scientific method and the going through certain steps to figure out
mhm.
and find and get vaccines and get certain things approved still have to go. They still need to be in effect. Even though we want things done very quickly, we still need to make sure that we do the right steps and make sure FDA regulated steps that correct and
Yeah.
help to what we
Like
need.
I believe they shouldn't stop trying. I feel like I don't
Oh
like
yeah,
it.
they should.
It's weird. They're like we're gonna stop ever. It's like keep doing like it's like cancer or anything else. Like keep going till you find
Yeah,
to figure out what it is. Like don't stop. Like it's
I
like
agree.
it's like you're that's what your company's known for. It's creating vaccines and creating stuff. So like keep going for that. Like why would you want to stop? And like people are suffering with HIV or suffering with AIDS. And I think it's important that they keep trying. That's
I
just
agree.
my
I think some people need it, so they need that help. So I agree. I think they should never stop fighting and never stop looking for
yeah.
a cure for sure. I agree.
Your turn.
Sure. So I have some interesting Alberta news in
Oh, okay.
Alberta where Michael is. Yeah. So in Alberta government, it sounds like they actually they've ended their agreement to hold and detain immigrants for or hold people detained for immigrant matters. So for example, if you happen to be an immigrant and you actually happen to police happen to stop you or whatever in Alberta before they're able to actually detain you until they got your immigration corrected. Now they've actually have laws to ban that, where they're not you can't do that anymore to people who actually who are migrants to the country. So what do you think about that, Mike?
I think it's important because like there's a lot of abuse that goes on with that, and a lot of people, lots of abuse of power. So I think that will definitely curve that. And because because if you're not from this country and you get detained by the police, you kind of don't know you kind of don't know what your laws are. You don't know how to react or be. So I think it's pretty good. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's the end all be all, but but I think it's good to yeah, from people getting hurt or getting or things happening underneath the radar. That's all I can say. Okay, so
I,
it's, I think
I think it's a step in the right direction of helping people who are foreign for sure. There.
yeah. All right, so absolutely funny. You'll have this one. So
Okay.
Air Canada lost a man's custom built wheelchair. It offered only $300 in vouchers and to replace the wheelchair. It was broken.
That is
That is
ridiculous.
Air Canada. Air
I
Canada.
mean, but honestly,
Can I tell you more about the story? Can I tell you more about the story first?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Go right ahead.
when the Hamilton family arrived at Santiago de Chile Airport on Monday for the first leg of their trip, for hopping onto a cruise, they were left in the lurch after Air Canada misplaced Jimmy Hamilton's custom-built wheelchair. Hamiltons, now in Vina del Mar, Chile, remain perplexed by the airline's error, which was partially failed their travel plans that had been set in stone for months. What do you think of that?
I just don't get how you lose someone's wheelchair. Like I get other personal items and belongings, but someone's like it's not like it's like a
A
something
handbag or
like
something.
a small little box or something. It's a whole wheelchair. Like how do you lose? And it's something that's so unique. It's their handmade. It's to me. I feel like my own experiences with Air Canada have never been 100% great, unfortunately. But I mean, in general, like someone at least someone with a disability, at least act like you care a little bit. Like at least you make sure
Yeah,
they got their things. You know.
yeah. I
So
think that it's ridiculous. They should definitely need to up the price of things. I feel like there should just be a tier of things. So it shouldn't be just like, okay, everything's just blanket $200, $300 for this. No, it's like if you do
right.
something really expensive, you need to pay what you lost. You need to actually like pay the money, like how much it actually costs. And it's kind of quite annoying that someone's going on a long trip far away and they need something expensive with them that they have to just accept whatever you give them. I think that's total bogus.
And $300 is not giving anybody anything.
That's
That's
nothing.
nuts.
That's nothing.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Yep. So I have another Alberta news.
Oh, nice.
I call this one I call this one Scamiana,
Scammy on,
or maybe
scammy.
Scamiana. So I don't know if you heard this recently. Did you guys get in Alberta? I've heard you guys got $600 inflation relief checks. So
Oh, okay.
that recently came out. I think today. Okay, you guys have it get. I saw people got it today. What happens is as soon as it came out, within the time they came out, they said people have actually been scamming other people out of their checks. They've been sending text messages asking people to update their automated banking deposits. So your
Mm,
automated, so people getting sent text messages, people are actually being fooled by getting duped by sending in their information via text, and their $600 check is sent to them. So what do you think about that, Mike?
oh, I think it's another. I don't know. It's another ploy for.
Scamiana.
Yes, there'll always be scammers, which kind of sucks. I just wish that they could be more a tighter a tighter position in terms of like technology in terms of telecommunications. Of like telecommunications is probably the biggest scam to thing. Period. Like
Yeah.
email, or and email. I feel like there should be a tighter. I know why isn't there a tighter like law or tighter like grip on
Yeah.
that? Weird.
Well, it's like you already said, Michael. Scheme, plot, plot.
Scheme, plot, plot.
Well, that's it. Scheme,
I
plot,
mean, it's
plot,
like get a
plot.
top spot sometimes.
And they do. They try to.
No, but no, we don't. We don't. No, I really don't. I don't agree with that. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's crazy. And yeah. So my last one is you're ready for my last one.
And right for your last one, yeah.
So you Mexico banned smoking. Period. Like period with a T on the end.
Oh,
So
like
at
period.
bars, at public places, beaches, and hotels, and that includes vaping. No, you can't do any of
Oh,
that.
period.
On period. So,
Wow. So that's honestly, I get a ticket to Mexico now. That's how I feel like. Honestly, I love non-smoking. Don't get me wrong, all smokers out there. I understand the vapors. I get you guys. And vaping to me, I feel like that's more personal. It doesn't really affect people too much. But cigarettes themselves, I think it's a good thing. I think they're probably going to see a lot less litter, a lot less people getting sick. I think as far as like lung issues and things like that nature. So I think it's a good step, especially towards the environment too as well. So that's kudos to Mexico. I mean,
Yeah, I think that what Mexico's known for is being very liberal with things. So some people go there to get to find liberation and do what they want there. It's gonna. I think it's gonna shock a lot of. It's gonna shake down a lot of tourists. Like a
oh,
lot of American tourists go down there, and I think a lot of them smoke. So I don't know how that's gonna affect. I mean, they'll go to Vegas still because Vegas they can still smoke, which is
oh yeah, and drink till
go
whatever
Vegas.
hours a night you want to. Go to Vegas. You want that? Go to Vegas.
Go Vegas. But that's it for. Do you have anything you want to add? Anything else?
No,
That's
that's
it.
it. That's it for me.
That's it for our show today. I enjoyed it, bro. It was good job. Good job.
I really enjoyed it. It was fun. Did you like the topic?
I loved your topics. Your topics are so great.
Yours too. It was really good.
Right, so remember to what, Mark?
To like, share, and what else, Michael?
And subscribe.
Comment. Please subscribe.
Yes. And we'll see you guys next time, okay? At Luxurious Lounge.
Bye, guys.
Bye.